What's up, everybody? It's me, Sarah. I don't know why I always wear these earphones during this. I can't hear anybody anyway, so what's the point? Hello. So I guess I'm streaming to these channels now. So this should be coming up. What's up? Enter in your comments if you have any. Hello, Nidarko Dodo Dudu or Dodo. How do I say your last name, Nidarko? Help me out with this. Did I just say it right? Or is it Dodu? Did I say this right? I don't even know. Let me know. Nice to see you. So what's new? So go ahead and comment below. What are your questions? Does anyone have questions on anything? Thanks for the information. Okay, so. Hello, Ahmad. Hello, Ahmad. How are you? Thanks for showing up. LinkedIn user. I always think it's so funny, like LinkedIn just does this all the time. So hello, LinkedIn user. Who are you exactly, if I may ask? There's somebody who always goes on my streams. Is it Clay? Is that you? Okay, let me see who else it was. Oh wait, Do. Okay, Do. There. Okay, Nidarku, thank you for telling me. Okay, so who's watching me? Everybody just like say hello and what's up? Do you have any questions for me? What questions can I answer? Very good. Thanks for asking. Cool. What else? Hello, everyone. So the purpose of me coming on to this live stream today was that I wanted to just, it's interesting. So I'm actually streaming over my YouTube channel as well, which I do sometimes, but haven't done in a long time. So what I basically wanted to do was I just wanted to come on here and give people an opportunity to ask me questions, because I know I do get a lot of questions from people who are watching me, and then a lot of times I would have to, in order to like sit down and create an answer, I would have to charge the person for the advice. So sometimes I just say, okay, look, if you want to get on my live stream, you can come and you can ask me the question, and then, you know, it won't be anything for you to, you know, I won't have to charge anybody anything. So this is really just an open forum for anybody to just come and ask me stuff that you have questions on. So fire them at me. What questions do you have? This is interesting what I'm noticing, the delay. I'm streaming to YouTube and LinkedIn, and I'm noticing the delay is so much, there's so much more of a delay on LinkedIn than there is on YouTube. And that's really funny. It's kind of surprised me. So what's up, y'all? Are there any questions? Tell me your questions. Thanks for saying hi. What was my undergrad experience at Harvard? Well, it was like this. It was awful. Let me just tell you, it was like, I would never do it again. Sorry, Harvard. But it was just a lot of pressure. Like when I made the decision to go to Harvard, I was basically, a kid. I just was like traditional, had lived with only my family, hadn't really been out of like the small town where I was from. And I don't know, I made the decision to like go to this university. And it was basically because of like my parents, and nothing against them, but they had kind of like traditional views about stuff. And it was, Harvard's a supposedly great school. Well, it turned out to not be the best place for me at all because I was such a misfit there. Like I ended up almost like flunking out of my freshman English class, which is so funny because now I'm like a talented writer. I have like thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have read my blogs and like YouTube personality and everything. And so it's weird to think about like why did I do so badly there? And it was just because I didn't really fit into that mold of going to become like an investment banker or a management consultant or a doctor or a lawyer. And it was really awful. I wish I had known. It wasn't actually Harvard's fault. I think it was just my fault. I was so young and naive coming into it that I didn't really have a clear vision for myself. And if I had, I would have just been like, well, there's going to be no recruiting support for the direction I'm going to go in, but I'm going to just go in that direction anyways. But I wasn't aware enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't organized enough. Was it a mistake? I don't know. I mean, I graduated, I did okay. I, have had good jobs and been very fortunate in that sense that I've been able to get, I think, where I needed to eventually go. But I think it set me back a lot. It was a lot of pressure. A lot of times it was just like I was going to OG under the pressure. Like that's how much pressure it was. And I just think that college and the educational system is really very much like that. I know a lot of people that are like that kind of felt like they didn't actually align with the system that they had to be a part of. It's the thing that's changing, and I'm glad. There's so much diversity of the way that people think. And back then, like when I was in the day, like going through it, I guess it was like you did or you didn't, that was it. Like I did well on standardized tests, but I never really did that well on standardized tests. You need to be able to do well on standardized tests if you want to go through the system the way that they want you to. You have to be able to, that's their idea of performance and of demonstrating intelligence and capability. However, I was never a great standardized test taker. I always used to want to explain stuff more and think things through more and have like creative explanations. Like I could always narrow down to like two answers, but I could never like pick just one answer. There was no one answer. What was always clear to me as I got older, I got better at taking standardized tests. It was pretty hard at first. Due to the expensive price of the CFA materials for level 1, can we rely on old materials and tests to prepare to take the tests? I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, and yeah, they are expensive. The source materials, I think, are expensive. I think what you should do is, if you're really in a tough place with money, but you're taking the CFA, my recommendation would be to get new practice exams. Like the practice exam book, I think is only like, well, I mean, when I was taking this was like 10 years ago. I think it was only like $99 or something like that. I mean, still, a lot of money, but it's not as much money as having to buy the whole entire thing. So that's what I would do. I would make sure that you get those practice exams being current because, it's not going to kill you. And like, if you really need the $100, then go walk somebody's dog, like go sweep something, go, you could get $100. And that's what I would do. I also wouldn't go too far back. I wouldn't go back like 2 years. If you need to buy old study materials, you could maybe buy them off of eBay or something from last year, but I wouldn't go back too much more than that. Let us talk about how to have a good marketing approach for small business consulting firms. Ahmad, did I say your name right? That's a good question. a good marketing approach for small business consulting firms. So if you're, so let's say for example that like I'm a small business technically, right? You may call me like self-employed. Well, the first thing is I think you need to narrow your focus, because people kind of like, that's the whole thing about business owner. Like they throw, like I feel like the term business owner is such a vagonym. It's such a vagary. It's like it's like calling somebody like tall person or short person, you know, like it's not that descriptive, because everybody's businesses are so different. A like I'm a self-employed marketing consultant, okay? And right, yes, thank you for agreeing with me. So I'm a self-employed marketing consultant. There are self-employed therapists that like me, like we both work at our home, but self-employed therapist has so many more record keeping requirements because of I think they call it EHR, like the electronic health records that they have to keep, or like confidentiality. Not that I don't keep my data confidential, but like with a healthcare, when you're a mental health provider, like that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Or like another example of a small business owner would be like the woman that runs my daycare where my kid is right now. See, so like I would even specify within small business owners, because if you do that, you can, what I tend to find in that, and we're just doing a specialization actually for one of my clients that I'm thinking of, and it's going really awesome because he's in a niche where within business owners, but he's found this one particular type of business. And what we're finding is that there are actually all these influencers within that space. Like there are people there are like maybe a handful of them. It's not like these general business, like inspirational people or general business advice givers where you have like Tony Robbins, you have Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, like you have that's such a big sphere. He's in a very small little market, and there's a handful of influencers. We've been able to reach out to them and get to know them so much more easily. We've done this all over LinkedIn. You know, he's been able to interview some of them and then have them shared on their social media, which has been really fortunate for him. So that's what I would say, Ahmad, if you're trying to, like as a CPA, if you're trying to find small businesses, I would say 100% go niche, like niche down like crazy. And don't just be like niche in name only. Be like, you know, well, don't just be like, well, I focus on daycare owners, like daycare group, you know, daycare babysitting groups. Like, don't just be like that. Be like, get to know what are the podcasts that daycare owners listen to? What are the conferences that they go to? What are their special laws that they have to follow? How are taxes different for them? All of this, you know, and get to know the people that are influencing them from above. Because when you go into one of these niches, you find that there's a top layer of people that are the advice givers in this field. And you can probably get to know them so much more easily because it's not this general oasis that you're going to be navigating in. So I thought that's exciting. I think that would be great. In fact, that's a blog idea. I should do that. I should actually do something on that. I should do a LinkedIn post about that. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to take a minute to write that down. Thank you, Ahmad, for inspiring me. So anyways, who's next? What other questions do other people have? That was so cool. Was that useful, Ahmad? And am I saying your name right? I hope I am. I really don't want to say anybody's name wrong. Who's on here? Who else is on here? Interesting. Hi, Rajiv. Thanks for being interested in what I'm saying. What questions do you have for me? Okay, good. It looks like there's a lot of people on this LinkedIn stream now. I think there's more people coming from LinkedIn. It's interesting. I never knew with the restream, all the comments show up here in this one place. Okay, if nobody else has any questions, then I'm going to end the live stream. Okay, well, I'm ending it. Thanks everybody for being here. See you next month.